Hello, I'm Mystic Orange and this is video hashtag 649. In this video, I'll be reviewing Winx Club Season 4 Episode 7. This is where we get to see Morgana for the first time. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Right now, this channel has 594 subscribers. We only need 6 more subscribers to reach the 600 milestone. And if we do hit that milestone, I'll be doing a Q&A video. So if you have any questions for me, make sure to, share them in the comments down below. Now all that considered, let's get back into this video. However, before we get further into this review, we have an intermission now. So for this intermission, it's about 16. I think this intermission is appropriate for this video because this is a Winx Club video. And I'm assuming that most people who are watching this video are Winx Club fans. They're most likely going to be Winx Club fans over 16. And for this intermission, I just wanted a call for action. So I love Winx Club, but I also really love 16. I just wish the 16 fandom was just as great as Winx Club is. Like, Winx Club has so many videos about it, there's so many discussions. I don't tend to see that with 16, and I wish there was. I think back in the day, we would talk about 16 non-stop. And this isn't just about 16, it's about like shows that, existed in the 2000s. Like, I've seen this with Trolls. There's not many discussions, happens with, the shows from the past that, no longer exist now. I would suggest, like, if not 16 or Trolls, maybe create a community from a show that you watched as a kid. Start discussions with those. I think, that would be great. It's just a shame though, like the things we, watched as a kid get sidelined and like people, forget about it. And TV companies don't do anything great, to help people, recognize these shows. Like in Nickelodeon, we always get Victorious or iCarly repeating the year, even though it appeared around 2000s to 2013. And we will still get to watch Victorious or iCarly in 2016. And I wish this was the same for other shows like Trolls, 16, and anything else really. So in summary, I would love a discussion, about the shows you used to watch as a kid. If not here, just in the internet in general. Thank you for listening. Now let's get back into this review. So episode 7 is continuation from episode 6, where the Winx have earned Winx, and we finally get to see it in action. But the Wizard of the Black Circle do not care about this fairy upgrade. Nevertheless, they never stopped the mission to capture Roxy. Anyway, Anakin, attempts to, capture Roxy just by using his super speed. But it is sure lame that, Anakin's superpower is super speed. It's just really underwhelming. He doesn't have anything else. Even with the new upgrade, they still can't manage to beat Ogron. This must make, Winx Club feel, they wasted their time. They thought, having a new transformation will make things better. But it was all for nothing. They can't even beat Ogron. So they must have felt gypped. So anyway, the Wizard of the Black Circle tried their hardest to get Roxy, but while doing so, Artie tries to defend her. However, he gets end up being attacked by Demon. Roxy must feel emotional that her dog is getting injured by this evil character. While the wizards and the Winx are battling each other out, we do get some interesting moments. For one thing, we get flirtation between Anagan and Flora, and I think this is really cute. Even though they're villains, it's pretty interesting to look at. And it does make me want to ship them too. I think Anagan and Flora's antics are pretty cute. Anagan even says like Flora is his favorite. Overall, if I had to say like who seems like the nicest wizard of the Black Circle, like who seems like the most gentle, I would have to say it's Anagan. Demon strikes me as the cocky one, a bit of a he has an ego, and then Ganlos gives me the Raphael vibes, like he's the grumpy one. And then we have Ogron, who's like the leader. And this interaction between Anagan and Flora, it makes me ship them too, but it also makes me think of other pairings. Like first of all, there's Gatlos and Misa, who both use sound powers. I do wish Gatlos' sound powers was explored more. And then we have Demon and Stella. They both like to dress up. I mean, like, Demon likes to shapeshift, and Stella, she likes to dress up. They, like appearances, so I can, ship them too. And then we have Bloom and Ogron. They're both red-haired leaders. It's interesting to think about. Anyway, Roxy, Artie, and this random cat find this lady, so that, Roxy can get some help. Roxy just wants to go back to Shruti Music Bar. I do feel bad for Roxy. This must have a lot of stress in her. Also, I just love how this lady just abandons the car. Like she sees the Wizard of the Black Circle and, the man, disturbing the traffic. And she just completely abandons her car, the pets, and Roxy. She just runs off. I mean, she could have drove off with her car. Not very smart. The Wizard of the Black Circle tried to open the portal to capture Roxy, but with Bloom's help, she gets freed. Roxy voices something about the Winx. She says the girls are risking their lives for her. And I was just thinking, really, like, this is what they always do. So, don't be surprised, Roxy. Risking their lives for you isn't something special. Anyway, in the next scene, Roxy, hides in a sewer to protect herself and Artie and the cat from the fairy hunters. Eventually, they're gonna find her anyway. However, in this scene, Roxy gets contacted with a voice. Her name is Morgana. While her name isn't revealed yet, we know her name later on. Because, I already know this show before, watching this episode. Ultimately, I can compare this scene to, like, how Bloom, would have contacts with Daphne in season 1. And I think, this is what season 4 is trying to compare, like Roxy to Bloom. And it is interesting to think about. And then, we do get a scene where, like, Morgana, is, convincing Roxy that she is a fairy. But there is things that, like, Roxy needs to think about. Yes, that Roxy does believe in fairies now, possibly. I mean, she just saw the Winx. But does she believe that she is a fairy herself? I think she needs to explore that. And I think this show doesn't do that. This season doesn't do that as much. Like, I don't think Roxy does that much, like exploration. Like, am I a fairy? Why am I a fairy? And are there other people in Earth are fairy? Am I the only fairy on Earth? This is something that Roxy needs to question because, uh, she's possibly, confused about this. And it's possible that, like, Roxy might not want to be a fairy. The personality I get from Roxy is that she likes to, ordinary things. She's a great contrast to Bloom. While Bloom, has all these fantasies of, becoming a fairy, like in season one, like Bloom had, fairy books, and she would pretend to be fairies, and, she would dream about unicorns. So Bloom would always, be in touch with these things. And with Roxy, she wants nothing to do with that. That's the vibe I get. She just wants to be on Earth with her dad and her pets. She doesn't want any crazy adventures. We do get to see, Roxy in action. And to me, I think that's impressive. You go, girl. I do love Roxy's power up with her animal powers, but I do think this is rather too early to, showcase her powers. And I have to admit, Roxy's story in season 4 is interesting. And honestly, it's the only character I care about in season 4 because the other characters, I'm just not engaging with their stories. While Roxy kills it in this season with her story, though, Winx flanderizes so much. I mean, I have nothing to add here. The Wizard of the Black Circle can't quit of, keep sucking Roxy into the portal. And nothing the Winx can do, helps. Not even the Believer's Convergence, which I thought you would stop this. What's the point in upgrading to Believers if it doesn't work out? And then the specialists arrive to assist the Winx. But that can't be a good idea, because when the specialist comes, drama unfolds. Layla and Nabi, one of the best relationships in season 4, and that don't aggravate me. They keep me happy throughout this season. Shut up, Stella. Reverend just cut his hair, and now he's weak now. I will say that Ogron is impressive as a villain. And adding his voice acting, I just love his role. Like, come on, you're easily defeated by the specialists because they have swords and can fight you. Like, come on, like, really? This means a normal Earth person could have defeated Ogron and the wizards. I mean, it doesn't take a person with a good fighting strength to defeat these guys then. I'm not even gonna, repeat this. I don't really care anymore. Whenever the Winx speak about doing things better, I just know. Maybe you could just do something better by being grateful of, specialists helping you. But whatever, I've spoken about this a long time now. I'm just fed up about this. And honestly, Roxy feels like she's like the third wheel from all this drama. Also, I don't know about me, but like Layla's personality seems completely different in season 4. She seems easily bouncy and energetic, like a very excitable character in season 4, which isn't her, her normal usual self. Kind of almost sounding like Pinkie Pie. I just want to put poison in their drinks. Just kill them slowly and painfully. I had enough with these guys. And you know what? You might as well introduce your friends and your dad with each other. This was cringe. I'm not even gonna touch on this one. When I ever return back to this scene, I always put the volume down, move to a different room, and cleanse my mind. I wash my face and return. Roxy is me right now. I'm probably any audience watching this. Okay, but this is an interesting detail. So the specialists now work at the Fruity Music Bar. Okay, cool. But we get information from like a few episodes ago where like we find out that Timmy works at an electronics store, but we never get to see that. So why make Timmy the only one that has a unique job, and we don't get to see it? I hope the Winx are buying other things other than smoothies. Like, why not buy some like shrimp or some curry, maybe tacos? Like, if it was me, I would just like buy some, noodles or something. Or maybe like spaghetti hoops or some dessert, Enjoy yourselves, girls. Bloom doing that with her hands is just cringe. Like, come on, girl, get over yourself. The Winx look really cute in their bikinis. Flora and Musa have the best ones. The Winx look really cute in their bikinis. Flora and Musa have the best ones. Bloom's hair looks off in the shot. I do miss how nighttime used to look in season 1 to 3. I always found it comforting with the nighttime gradient. Nowadays, nighttime isn't, comparable to season 1, 2, and 3. Everything is all HD and CGI. Anyway, the Winx have a Zoom meeting with Fargonda, updating things about what they did. This is really strange. I think it's weird, like, the Winx are always contacting Miss Fargonda. I know that she's, their mentor, but like, even in season 1 to 3, the Winx didn't always go to Miss Fargonda to update everything. It's like having a Zoom meeting with your grandma. And it seems like the Winx are just pester from Miss Fargonda. And what goes on Althea when the Winx aren't there? I've noticed this before when Misa was using the book, and I can see this happening now with Techno when they're opening the book. It seems like they're, turning the pages from right to left, not left to right, like normal traditional books. So are they reading the book backwards? Or it could be an Arabic book, but it's read from right to left. And then Flora says something that I disagree with. She says that, it's so easy to believe in things. Actually, no, it's pretty hard for people to believe in things, especially deeply delusional people. Please don't listen to Winx Club about this advice. The episode ends with the Winx and Roxy reflecting on the events of today. I guess you can say it's like an introspective moment for the girls. Which I can't deny, it is a nice moment, but I wish it meant something. So that means I'm done with this review for today. Okay, now this review is over. It's time to, share my favorite and least favorite part about this episode. Well, my favorite part about this episode is that we get to, see Roxy getting help from Morgana. And Roxy was really impressive in this episode. And my least favorite part about this episode is just, the ongoing drama between the specialists and the Winx. Nothing's new here. I'm fed up with this whole bullshit of a drama. What's your opinion about this episode? Share your thoughts in the comments. Did you like this episode? What's your favorite and least favorite part about this episode? Anyways, thank you for watching this review. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and help me reach 600 subscribers. Until then, thank you for watching and have a lovely day.